Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Strictly Bball podcast. We have a very special episode today. We are here with the one and only Gob Gob of Minnesota Prep. Joe and I were lucky enough to see him play against Vertical Academy and Donda as well at Target Center. So Gob Gob, what have you been up to today? How are you doing?
Man, I've had a pretty long day. I had practice, a couple workouts, but I'm free. I'm ready to go, you feel me?
Sounds good, man. Like Nolan said, we're happy to have you on. But to start off, why don't you just give us a little bit of background on who you are, where you're from, how you got into basketball, all that stuff.
So, my name's Gob, obviously, and I'm from Manchester, New Hampshire. Started playing basketball when I was like 5th, 6th grade. That's when I first got on an official team. So that's when I first started. And yeah, it's been up since then.
When talking about starting up, was there a particular player that you would say inspired you to play basketball, or growing up, was there a player or multiple players that you really looked up to?
Yeah, my whole life I've been looking up to Kevin Durant. I like his style. He's a 7-foot point guard, so I really look up to him.
That's definitely a good one.
So, yeah.
I think for me, like KD is just like the smoothest overall game to watch, and definitely a good guy to model your game after, for sure. We got to see a little bit of that, like those moves and that talent that you have, similar to KD. We got to see that on display at Target Center. 2 incredible games that we got to watch. Obviously, Vertical Academy and then Donda. Both teams are playing like national schedules and some of the best teams in the country. What was that experience like going up against some super talented teams in such a big venue like Target Center?
I mean, it was a great experience, actually, because I never played in an atmosphere like that, NBA Arena, first time. So, of course, it felt great. The fans were loud. The court was beautiful, man. And yeah, it was great going up against some competitive players, especially 5 stars, And
then kind of like bouncing off what Joe said, like things like playing against a starting lineup of highly rated like D1 recruits, like basically a starting lineup of all D1 starters. Kanye West watching you courtside, Timberwolves players like Ant, D'Lo, Beasley, and a few others all in attendance for a single game. How does that type of stuff sit with you? Do you even like process that during games, or?
I mean, I really try to blur it out, but at the same time, that's really nice for those type of people to be at your games. You know what I mean? That's not normal. So, I had to go out, play my hardest, put on a show. So, yeah.
Did you pay attention to it? Like with Ant, like I remember at halftime, he was just like, he was on the court for a good portion of it. He actually was going to try to sing on the mic, if I'm not mistaken. Like, did it register in you that like they're actually here, or did you not even focus on that?
Basically, I really didn't focus on that. But at the same time, I was thinking about, this is crazy. Like, I'm here, like me and my teammates, we here. And like, no one actually gets to like, play in the Target Center like that. So it was unbelievable.
And y'all showed out too. You won both the games, which is crazy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Represented Minnesota.
I mean, you used some big shots in those games. The one that like stood out to me was like in the late game in that Vertical Academy game. I think there's like a minute left. You like had to pull up 3. I guess like when the game's on the line, is that like something you always want to do? Have the ball in your hands. Obviously, the point guard of that team. Is that like something you always want to do? Is take that clutch shot?
Yeah, I feel like I'm that type of player when it comes down to that time. I feel like that's when I really stand out. You know what I mean? So I was just confident in what I was doing, and we ended up winning. So yeah.
Where's that confidence come from? Is it all in like the preparation, or like is that just kind of like part of your personality, or like where's that come from?
I mean, I feel like that's part of my personality. Yeah.
And it definitely shows during the games. I remember, both the games that Joe and I were, you can definitely tell towards the end of the stretch, like you really turn it up and you start knocking down some very clutch shots.
Yeah.
And then talking about highlights in your career with specific plays, you had a missed dunk against Donda. It would have been crazy. I don't know if you paid attention to a video that I posted, or Joe and I posted on Strictly Bball. So it would have been crazy if you knocked that down. But what's your favorite moment, like highlight moment of your career?
Of my
with
career?
A play. Yeah, like with a specific play in a game.
Okay, so this is my freshman year back in Manchester, New Hampshire. I was playing varsity. I got moved up to varsity halfway through the year. And I started being one of the top scorers on the team. You know what I mean? So this is right before playoffs, and I hit a fadeaway like buzzer beater on the right corner. So yeah, that was probably and it was at home. So that was probably my, yeah, it's probably the.
Is there footage of that? Like, can we find that on YouTube or
no? Probably not. Probably
Got
not.
You.
So it's all good though.
Yeah, you mentioned that you're from New Hampshire. Like, when did you make that transfer over here to Minnesota Prep? Was this your second year with MM Prep?
Yes, sir. All right, so after my sophomore year at Manchester West, I transferred here my junior year. So this is my second year at Minnesota Prep. Yep.
How has that experience been with Minnesota Prep? I know, like, I didn't hear too much about Minnesota Prep before last year. I guess just like, what's the best part of playing for Minnesota Prep? Was that like a tough decision, making that decision to choose Minnesota Prep? Like, what's Minnesota Prep all about?
I mean, it was a tough decision to leave my family. You feel me?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I had to get out that city because the competition is not as great as, this league I'm playing in right now.
That's cool. And it seems like a pretty big year for MM Prep. I mean, you obviously had those Target Center games. Is there any other like big games on the schedule that you're looking at right now that you're like pretty excited to play in?
Yeah, we got something cooking up. We might play in the Target Center next month, so we'll see what's up.
Oh, we'll definitely have to make it out for that.
Yes, sir.
Is there any teams in particular that are coming out? Do you know of, or is it kind of just like it's gonna kind of make the schedule as
we don't. The coaches don't really tell us much, but they just gave us a little hint that we're going to play in the Target Center around December time.
When you heard you're playing against Donda Academy, like obviously it's just a whole new program with them, but like, what was your first reaction when you heard like, oh, you're playing against Donda Academy, you're playing against Kanye West's team?
Okay, so in the beginning of the year, around September, when we were preparing for the season, we were doing our little conditioning in the beginning of the year. Our coaches were telling us, oh, we might play against Donda in the Target Center. And I thought it was a lie because, Donda Academy, Kanye West's school. I really didn't. I didn't believe it.
Yeah.
And then like a week before, it was, they told us like this is going to happen. And it happened. So
had you heard of Donda Academy before then? Like I hadn't even heard of the school even being a thing.
Honestly, I haven't heard until I seen on the Instagram one day. I just seen Donda Academy is being opened up, and they got like 5 stars right away. So that was cool to see.
That's pretty cool because I think that was like their first like big event, and then that was against you guys, and you didn't give them a win. That's good shit. But
yeah.
Another thing I noticed, like just like scrolling through your socials and stuff, like on Twitter and Instagram, is like, do you have a few relationships with like some NBA guys? Like I know I saw like you reposting like Wenyen Gabriel's posts. Like, talk about that. Like, do you have any of those relationships with guys playing in the NBA or like high Division I?
Wenyen Gabriel's my older cousin, so yeah, we're very close. We talk almost every day. So yeah, and I have another older cousin. She's at UConn University. And she's very great at basketball, obviously.
That's really cool. Like I'm sure having those connections is like pretty good for like having those mentors that are kind of going to help you make that transition into the next level. Like I'm sure they're going to be able to help you with that.
Yeah, no doubt. So every time I'm not feeling like well or feeling down on myself or not confident, I just give them a call and they just talk me through stuff. And they just tell me like, you'll be straight, you'll be good. Like, you know what I mean?
What's your cousin's name at UConn?
Oh, her name is Piath Gabriel.
Oh, okay. That's really. I mean, UConn women's basketball is incredible. Yeah. I'm sure that's Is her goal like to make it to the WNBA then?
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
And then talking about the next level. So what are the offers you're considering for next year at this point? Do you have a narrowed down list of schools or?
All right, so
I know you're undecided.
I don't have a list yet, but I have 2 offers. One offer from UMass Amherst. I have another offer from Wichita State. And right now, I'm probably getting recruited hardest by Tulsa and Buffalo University.
I mean, Wichita State.
Awesome.
Wichita State definitely jumps out to me. That's always such a fun team to watch. Obviously, they've had those NCAA tournament runs. I mean, you see guys like Fred VanVleet and like I remember it was like Ron Baker. Those guys are really good. Those guys played in the NBA. I guess like I think I know the answer to this, but like is your ultimate goal to play in the NBA?
Oh yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is.
I think you can do it. I think Nolan and I were talking about this. Like, obviously we hadn't followed MM Prep a ton last year, but like just watching you play against those schools, like we felt like you were pretty underrated as a prospect. So props to you for that. I think you really put on a show, and I think those offers are going to keep coming in this year. I think that's going to be really exciting.
Thank you, my man. I appreciate it.
Making it to the NBA, if you could play, or maybe it doesn't even matter, but if there was one team that you could play for, one team in particular, is there one that stands out, or is it just making it? That's all of that.
I mean, it doesn't really matter, but if I had a choice, like if they let me pick, like hometown hero, Boston, I'll play for Boston because that's right next, New England area. Okay. You feel me?
That'd be really cool. Yeah. How have you liked Minnesota? Like outside of MM Prep, have you gotten to do anything else around the city? Like Nolan and I grew up here, so obviously we know it pretty well. But is there anything else that's jumped out at you about Minnesota?
I mean, not really. I'd be inside all day. You know what I mean? I just go to school.
Just grinding?
Just grinding. But I mean, it's similar in New Hampshire, so I like it. You
kind of touched on it, but what NBA player do you think has the most similar play style to you? You said you really like Kevin Durant, but is there anyone specifically that you could imagine yourself modeling your game after?
I feel like De'Aaron Fox. We have a lot of similarities. You know what I mean? Because we both get downhill.
100%.
We both finish around the rim, above the rim, make plays for our teammates, and we're both very quick. So that's who I really like, and that's who I try to model my game after. And he went to school with my cousin, so I like him a lot.
Because when you Gabriel went to Kentucky, that's dope.
If you could eat dinner or hang out with one NBA player, or you can name multiple, maybe there's multiple that come to mind, who would you pick and why?
I think about that one. Dinner with anyone. That's what you guys are asking. Like, if I would want to have dinner with anyone?
Yeah. Yes, just any NBA player in NBA history. It doesn't matter. Like, who would you eat dinner with and why?
Probably Kobe. Just because he would give you a goal. You know how he gives Giannis goals and stuff. You know how he did that? I would want one of those to see what's up. And just because, his mentality is different, everyone knows that. So that's 100%. Those probably are two reasons why.
That's a great answer. I mean, I feel like you mentioned those goals with Giannis and stuff. I feel like every time he gives somebody one of those goals, they always complete it. It seems like they never fail to do it. So that would be really cool.
Yep.
What goal do you think he would give you? Would you think it would just be make it to the league?
I'm not even sure about that. I honestly don't know what he would say.
It is a very hypothetical question, but
obviously that is the dream.
And then
facts.
It is most definitely. And then we have to ask the final question that we have, unless the conversation takes a turn. But your name, Gob Gob, what do your teammates call you? Do they call you Gob Gob? I think I heard Double G. What does everyone call you?
They call me Gigi. They call me Gigi. Yeah, they
Gigi?
call me Gigi. Yeah.
I mean, you also definitely became a fan favorite with our TikTok followers, and from the videos you made at Target Center, they all loved you, man. I also saw. I mean, we also duetted that and saw that you made a TikTok account. So, what do you think you're gonna do with that? Are you gonna make some more content coming up?
Yeah, I'm definitely make some more content. Yeah.
I mean, in college, you can benefit off those NIL rights and stuff. You got to build your brand, right?
Yep, got to
start somewhere. You're definitely going to continue to be a fan favorite on our account, especially if we get to watch another couple games at Target Center. But we'll definitely be out to watch more of your games this season.
Yes, sir. Stay tuned. I'm gonna let y'all know if that. Well, it's gonna happen, so I'm gonna let y'all know.
That will definitely be there.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, I mean, we appreciate you coming on. That's all we have today. But we'll definitely stay tuned with everything that's going on in your career in this season. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today.
Thank you, Nolan. Thank you, Joe.